Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the air door actuator on the passenger side for a 2003 Chevy 2500. And this is the model that has the dual climate controls. And if you ever hear any strange sounds coming from your dashboard, like a clicking sound, or mine actually was kind of like a grinding sound, then chances are you have your air door actuator is broken somewhere on the inside and it needs to be replaced. Now the passenger side one is the one that's really tough to get to. There are three that I know of. There's one for the driver's side, for the passenger side, and then you have the one for your air recirculation. The air recirculation one is somewhere over here, and it's not too difficult to get to. The driver's side one, from what I understood, is really easy to get to. It's on the very bottom down here somewhere, but the passenger side one is the most difficult one to get to. There's two ways to go about doing it. One is to completely disassemble your entire dashboard, which I've seen a lot of guys do, taking out the airbag, everything, and it's really quite invasive and a lot of time. The other way to do it is how I did it, which is I just lowered the glove box. You don't have to take the glove box off, you just open it up, and then there's these little pinch things on the side. You just pinch them in a little bit. There's one on each side. You pinch it in, it allows the glove box to open up like that. Then you can reach behind here with your hand and you can push out the vent so that you have an access point here. Now here's where it comes in handy to have really skinny hands or very long fingers. I'll try and show you. The sun's out today, so I'm not getting a good camera shot. Where this thing goes is right about where I'm shining my light. So I know it's not very good to see because of the shadows, but anyways, oh, there you go, you can see it now. So yeah, that right there, right underneath your air duct, is where the control actuator goes. Now if you take apart your entire dashboard, you're going to still have the air duct in the way, which is not very easy to get out of. In fact, one guy I looked on YouTube, he actually cut his out of the way and then just glued it back and taped it back in place after he was done with it. But if you don't want to cut it out of the way, then you can do what I did, which is take your hands, and I was actually able to slide my hands underneath there using a ratchet, and it's an 8mm bolt. There are two 8mm bolts. Here they are right here, 8mm. One goes there and the other goes there, and that holds this thing in. After you undo those, and it takes some patience and very skinny hands, so maybe it's a good idea to, if you don't have skinny hands and long skinny fingers, go find a friend or a son or a daughter, a girlfriend, somebody who does have long skinny fingers, and help you. Either way, this project is going to take you a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, whether it's disassembling your entire dashboard or just doing a minimally invasive surgery like I did. So I'll be back after I get the new one installed and show you how it works. Okay, we're back out here at night, so it's a little easier to film and not get such a bad glare from the sun. And there, now we can see a little better that is where the new actuator is going to go. And there's your air duct from the dashboard. I'll zoom out so everybody can see exactly where we're looking. There's your glove box, there's your grab handle, and airbags right there, which I've left in. Taking the airbag out would make things a little bit easier. You can see the airbag right there. If you took the airbag out, you could reach through. You'd be able to reach through here, whereas what I'm doing is reaching under here, underneath the metal bar, around through here, and then here you can see my fingers right there. It's a little hard to operate the camera, but you can see my arms going under there, all the way up through, and I can actually get it a little bit farther up here. And that is how I am able to get this actuator in position. When I put the actuator in, here's the new one, picked up from O'Reilly's Auto Part. It's going to go right through here, right underneath the air vent, and then I got 2 screws to put in. So I'll be back in a second. I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so I've got the actuator in place. You can see it right there. It's got that little white knob on top, and I've got another flashlight back there. And I've got the first screw. If you look on the right side, it's a little difficult to see. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. If you look on the right side, right there, it's not going to focus for me, but oh, maybe. Well, that right there in the center of the screen, that's the first screw. The other one goes on the left side over there. That one's the one that's really tough to get in. That's to the left side of the modulator there, or the actuator, excuse me. So anyways, I want to put the wrench on that, tighten that one down, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, and now I'm back, and you can see there's the end of my little wrench. It's the quarter inch drive. Get my arm out. Alright, so I got my quarter inch drive there. And let me get a flashlight real quick so you can see. Oh, I was on flash mode. There we go. Alright, there it is, right there. So the wrench is on that first nut right there, and it's just very, very slow. I hold it with my right hand up and around through here. Put my hand up and around there, hold it on the nut there with that hand, and then I turn it with my left hand. And unfortunately I can't do that and hold the camera at the same time, but that's how it is. It's very slow going, but again, this is so you don't have to take apart your whole dashboard. So what I'm doing here, I've got a 5/16 wrench. I got a flashlight back, and I'm using it I'm using the box end of it on the very end of the head of the nut back there to turn it so that it's low enough for me to wedge my ratchet, because you can see the vent slopes down on that side. The ratchet is too tall with the socket on the end of it, so it won't fit, and so the nut, or the screw, excuse me, needs to go down a little bit before I can fit the socket in there vertically. And I'll show you, if you don't understand what that means, I'll show you here in just a second after I get this screw in. So again, I'm using the box end of a 5/16 wrench right there. You can just barely see the open in there, but I'm using the box end back there to turn that 8mm nut down low enough so I can get a socket onto it. Okay, once I got the head of the bolt, or the screw, low enough for me to fit the socket wrench, as you can see, a little socket wrench is on there, I was able to wedge it, and it did take quite a lot of force because I had to flex the ductwork up in order to get it onto the head of the screw. But once I got it on there, it was there. But again, it took quite a lot of doing. But I got it on there, and the bolt is now tightened up. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like after I was able to get the socket wrench on there. And again, it was just moving really slow back and forth, just a little bit at a time. But I think I've spent, probably maybe 30 minutes doing this, putting it back on, versus, however many hours it takes to take apart your dashboard. So anyways, all I've got to do now is plug it up and make sure it works. Okay, we're back, but having a hard time getting a good camera shot of this, but I've got my unit plugged up. I got a flashlight shining right on the top of the unit there, of the actuator, and to show you guys that it is turning, but I'm having a hard time getting my camera to focus. But anyways, we'll see if it shows up. It might show up. So anyways, it's there, and so it's all the way on full heat right now, and I'll move it all the way to cold. I don't know if you could see that, but it moved all the way to cold, no problem, and can turn back again. So yep, I think this installation took me about 30 minutes. This was a kind of a 2-night job for me. I took it out one night, went to O'Reilly's the next day, bought the part, or actually had a special order the part in the morning, but it got there by noon, and installation the following night has taken about 30 minutes. I just have to clean up my mess here. Just got to put my dash back together, which of course isn't really that big of a deal as compared to a lot of other ways how this job is done. And that's over with. So now I've got nice good temperature control on my passenger side again. So I hope this helps anybody who is wanting to know if they had to take apart their dashboard. The answer is no, you do not have to take apart your dashboard to do this job. I was able to do this job just fine by not taking apart my dashboard, but again, I don't have that big of hands. My hands are relatively skinny. I did cut my hands up a little bit moving around in the dashboard, so that might happen to you too. So yeah, just be forewarned. You know, this job, you know, it's a pain in the butt, and I feel bad for anybody who has to do it. But you don't necessarily have to destroy your whole dashboard doing this. So anyways, hope this helps anybody. Y'all take